Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order, can emerge. Now we can see a new world coming into view. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Freedom is the permanent hope of mankind, the hunger in dark places, the longing of the soul. When our founders declared a new order of the ages, history has an ebb and flow of justice, but history also has a visible direction set by liberty and the author of liberty. When the Declaration of Independence was first read in public and the Liberty Bell was sounded in celebration, a witness said it rang as if it meant something. In our time, it means something still. America in this young century proclaims liberty throughout all the world and to all the inhabitants thereof.
The Henry A. Kissinger Senior Fellow in U.S. Foreign Policy at the Council on Foreign Relations and the author of Power, Terror, Peace, and War. Please welcome my guest.
A balance of power in Europe and a balance of power in Asia, so nobody's really strong enough to challenge us at home. And then let's trade with everybody. Let's build a global trading, finance, economic system that makes us rich enough to afford to keep the balance of power in those places. And that is basically what we've been doing since the Second World War. Let's spread our principles around the world, then we will have the world order that we're trying to build.
What did you make of the President's central message here, which is that for our own security, we have to aggressively advance freedom around the world?
I thought it was a brilliantly stated summation of a theme in the history of American foreign policy.
Aggressively advance freedom around the world.
I thought it was a brilliantly stated summation of a theme in the history of American foreign policy.
Extraordinary opportunity to form for the first time in history a truly global society carried up by the principle of interdependence. And if we act wisely and with vision, I think we can look back to all this turmoil as the first pangs of amazing turn of events. The United States, a country which really doesn't understand foreign policy very well in terms of its public, because its public is not all that engaged in the world. Nevertheless, the United States is in a key position to shape this so that the problem of the Bush presidency will be the emergence of a new international order.
Within the next 4 years, we will see the emergence of a new international order.
The beginning of a new international order, and it could well be that this president, who is so reviled by intellectuals, will emerge as one of the seminal presidents of his period.
Let's assume
of American modern history.
One of the seminal presidents.
He could.
What does he have to do to achieve that status?
He has to do certain things, and he has to have some luck. Although I believe in the Branch Rickey statement.
When he was a general manager of the
luck is the residue of design.
What did he say?
He said luck is the residue of design.
Right.
He said it about baseball.
I know.
But what does he have to do? In a general sense, we are the most powerful country in the world. But we cannot run the world by power alone or primarily. So we have to find a way to translate a conception into some sort of international consensus. Doesn't mean everybody has to agree with it, but it has to mean that they agree with it enough so that they don't express their dissatisfactions in military or militant or revolutionary activity. And I think that the President's inaugural address, which gave me some pause initially, actually was the right way to proceed.
All these new challenges are bringing together about the biggest restructuring we have ever seen, not just of the global economy, but of the global order as a whole. And 200 years ago, a famous British Foreign Secretary said that the new world had been called into existence to redress the balance of the old. In 1990, another old world ended, dominated by the Cold War, and people talked then, in 1990, of a new world order. What they actually meant then was a new political order. And what was not foreseen then, but is obvious now from everything that we see and do, what we experience in every day of our life, is the sheer scale and speed and scope of globalization. And it's only now that we can begin to understand that the world order that globalization brings and what it's going to look like, it's driven forward now not just by the balance of military strength, the Cold War times, or ordinary political power. It's being driven forward by a seismic shift in economic power that we see around us. But what does the New World Order mean for countries like ours who are looking to succeed? I suggest that the countries that are going to succeed are those that combine flexibility, free trade, open markets, with proper stewardship of the environment and investment in education, infrastructure and innovation. And the question for us is how we meet and master all these challenges to ensure that Britain enhances its competitiveness in the process and realizes what I believe is our destiny of success in this new world order. So, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, a new world is emerging. It is a new world order with significantly different and radically new challenges for the future.
The decade of the 1990s was meant to have been one in which a new international order, free of the bipolar rivalry of earlier days, was to have been established.